All right, I'm gonna go another Facebook Live and a tip on kind of things that dealerships are struggling with, and I've had this over quite a few years where dealers go through these phases and or run a great used car operation because they have an aging policy, but yet still suffer with gross profit margins. So a couple things here. One, I've seen dealers who have great turn in their system. So they might sit at 12, 13 turns a year with their used car inventory, but still suffer with profit and gross. And really what's going on there is we have a dealership that would have an aging policy, and they might, price their cars somewhat competitively or a little bit high in the market for the first 10, 15, 20, 30 days. But due to an aging policy, by day 40, day 45, they're blowing the cars out and making sure they don't bleed through an age. Or they're forced to wholesale it and or transfer it to another store. And those are the stores that, again, complain of gross profit and wonder why, how can you have both gross and volume or turn? And they feel like they have to choose one or the other. So if you're one of those dealers that are clean, but still not making gross profit, it has to do with how your inventory is being sold, not so by age, not so much how your inventory sits by age. Again, another example, I can have a dealer have 100 cars and 12 turns, but not make much gross profit and really only selling 70 cars a month. So is this turn really 12? Is he really carrying 100, selling 100? And he's not, because the reason why he has 12 turns in a lot of systems is it's based off the average age of his inventory. Again, he has a strict age policy. He's making sure that old cars aren't sticking around. They're gone by day 60. So his turn looks really well, but yet still not doing 100 units, carrying 100 units, or still not making gross profit. And it comes down to turnaround time. When I first started this company 4 years ago, leaving Viato, I thought it was like dealers hiring a physical trainer, right? We're going to take you to the gym and get you in shape and get that inventory cleaned up. But I realized we weren't that physical trainer. What I realized is we were that dietitian. What I mean by that is we're kind of like the Jenny Craig. We can get you on a diet. We can help you lose 30, 40, 50 pounds and make that inventory look really good or look good in the mirror. But you might not be physically capable of running a mile because you're not physically fit. And so that analogy goes back to the point is I can get that inventory clean. We can have no age. We can have good 12, 15 turns, but we're still not making gross. And it all comes down to turnaround time, turnaround time, turnaround time, turnaround time. And then that's where I realized we're not the physical trainer. We didn't get you truly in shape. All we did was make you look good in the mirror. And it really comes down to turnaround time. And our end, we're hindered because, again, we're on weekly calls with our stores, helping them push their inventory, know where we need to make adjustments each week to keep that inventory moving. But if it takes too long to get it transported, too long to get through service and parts, too long to get it through detail, too long to get it on photos, that's stuff that's happening at the store. And going back to the workout analogy, that's kind of like legs day. Everybody hates if they work out to do legs because it just burns and kills you and you're hobbling around for a day or two. And but that's the work that needs to be done. That's the legs that get where you kind of be that CrossFit person when not only are you physically strong, but cardiovascular, you can run miles and you're totally physically fit. And those are the dealers that get gross and volume. Those are the dealers that will sell 60 to 70% of their sales in the first 30 days. So if you're one of those dealers that say, hey, well, I don't have an age problem, we have a great turn and age policy, and none of our cars go past 60 days, but yet you still struggle with gross, I can almost guarantee, one, you got to look at what percentage are you selling 0 to 30 days old. And that, again, top performers will push 60 to 70% out of there. And if you're not doing that, you got to figure out why. And more times than not, it's that turnaround time, or you're asking, or both, you're asking too much money out the gate. And to bring up that point, we all know that the most gross is made on a car that is fresh. You're going to make the most gross profit on a fresh car. So I'll ask dealers, if you know we're going to make the most gross when that car is fresh, do you want to increase or decrease the odds of it selling while it's fresh? And of course, we want to increase the odds. So pricing the car at 105, 110% of the market, are we increasing or decreasing the odds of it selling? Not saying that you can't do that, especially on certain cars, but how long do you do that for? 7 days, 14 days, 21 days? How long do you ask above market, decreasing the odds of it selling? Also, how long are you letting that car go without photos and descriptions, decreasing the odds of it selling? So turnaround time, and get competitive as soon as you can on these cars, and get aggressive. So if you're one of those dealers that do have great turn, 12, 15 turns, but still suffer with gross, look at what percentage you sell in the first 30 days. It should be selling 60 to 70% as consistently as possible. And if you're not, look at those two areas. How's your pricing and how fast are you making those adjustments, but also how fast are you getting those cars serviced, photoed, online, ready to go? So I hope this tip was helpful. Like I said, try to keep these short and sweet. If you need to reach out to me, cell phone number is 314-568-2754. Just email me at jrice@lotpop.com. Also, feel free to check out our YouTube channel. Ton of tips. It's just Lotpop Inc. on YouTube. But I also have a website called lotpartyshow.com where I have probably 70, 80 tips, videos on there with podcasts and blogs. So check that out. Again, I hopefully do this kind of thing every day. See you on Monday, and have a great, strong weekend. Thanks.